Hi, everyone, and welcome to Who to the Curve. And this is a Robert Ruiz rant. And today we're speaking on the second arrow of time because one wasn't confusing enough. Time, that never ending river we're all desperately trying to swim against, armed only with our Fitbits and a vague sense of regret about not investing in Bitcoin earlier. The concept of time has always been a bit of a bully, pushing us forward, never letting us catch our breath, and certainly not allowing us to revisit our past mistakes with anything more than a rueful sigh and a glass of wine. But now, just as we were all starting to accept the relentless march of the so-called arrow of time, some clever scientists have decided to throw a second arrow into the mix because, one wasn't complicated enough. Let's start with the basics. The first arrow of time, for those of you who skipped the Physics 101, is the concept that time moves in one direction, forward. This idea is deeply rooted in the second law of thermodynamics, which states that entropy or disorder always increases in an isolated system. In simpler terms, your meticulously organized sock drawer is destined to become a chaotic mess, no matter how many Marie Kondo books you read. But wait, there's more. Enter the second arrow of time, the star of our show. According to recent research, there may be another temporal arrow pointing in a different direction. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we might be living in a universe where time has a sequel. Time 2, the reversible boogaloo. This new research suggests that under certain conditions, particularly in the quantum realm, time could theoretically move backward. Just when you thought time was a straight line, it turns out it may be more than a wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey thing. So, what does this mean for you, dear listener? Should you start preparing for a world where you can unburn your toast, unsay that awkward comment at the office party, or even unwatch the Cats movie? Well, not exactly. The second arrow of time is more of a theoretical construct than a practical tool for everyday life. It's like having an extra USB port on your laptop that only works in a parallel universe. Cool in theory, but not particularly useful when you're trying to charge your phone. The idea of a second arrow of time is rooted in the fascinating world of quantum mechanics, where particles can exist in multiple states at once and can be entangled across vast distances. It's a realm where the usual rules of reality take a backseat, and anything is possible, including, apparently, time travel. This research suggests that in certain quantum systems, time might not be a one-way street. Instead, it could loop back on itself, creating a sort of a temporal traffic circle where particles can move forward and backward in time. If you're feeling a bit dizzy, you're not alone. The concept of a second arrow of time is enough to make anyone's head spin faster than a fidget spinner on a double espresso. But let's take a step back and consider the implications. If time can indeed move backward in quantum realm, it raises some intriguing possibilities. Could we one day harness a phenomenon to reverse aging, undo our mistakes, or even relive our favorite moments? Or will it remain a quirky footnote in the annals of theoretical physics? A tantalizing glimpse of what might be possible if we could only figure out how to make our socks stay organized. Of course, no discussion of time would be complete without a healthy dose of skepticism. After all, science has a long history of proposing mind-bending theories that don't quite pan out. Remember the idea that the universe was filled with ether, or that Pluto was a planet. Sorry, Pluto, we still love you. The second arrow of time could turn out to be another fascinating but ultimately unprovable hypothesis, destined to join the ranks of perpetual motion machines and cold fusion. But let's not be total buzzkills. The beauty of science lies in its ability to stretch our understanding of the universe and challenge our preconceptions. The second arrow of time, whether it turns out to be real or just another quirky theory, invites us to think differently about the nature of reality. It reminds us that the universe is far stranger and more wonderful than we can possibly imagine, and that our journey to understand it is far from over. In the meantime, as we wait for the final verdict on the second arrow of time, perhaps we should all take a moment to appreciate the first arrow. Yes, it's relentless and unforgiving, but it's also the reason we experience life in all its messy, beautiful glory. Without the forward march of time, we wouldn't have birthdays, seasons, or joy of watching a child grow up. We wouldn't have the thrill of new experiences, the satisfaction of learning from our mistakes, or the bittersweet beauty of memories. So, here's to the arrow of time, both first and second. May they continue to baffle and inspire us, to challenge our minds and stretch the boundaries of what we think we know. And may they remind us that the universe, in all its complexity, is full of surprises waiting to be discovered. As we navigate through the labyrinth of existence, juggling our schedules, dreams, and the occasional existential crisis, let's take a moment to marvel at the sheer audacity of time itself. One arrow pushes us forward, urging us to grow, change, and evolve. The potential second arrow teases our imagination, hinting at the possibility of a reality where we might revisit the paths we've trodden, perhaps even choosing a different route. In the grand scheme of things, whether or not there's a second arrow of time may not change our daily lives. We will still face Monday mornings, misplaced keys, and the existential dread of a life half lived. But the mere thought of it adds a layer of wonder to our existence. It's a reminder that the universe is not a closed book, but an ever-expanding library of mysteries, each page more intriguing than the last. So, as you sip your coffee and ponder the mysteries of the cosmos, remember that time in all its form is the thread that weaves the tapestry of our lives. It's the relentless force that shapes our days, the unseen hand that guides our journey from cradle to grave. And whether it moves in one direction or two, it remains one of the most fascinating and enigmatic aspects of reality. Or should I say, our reality. In the end, perhaps the true beauty of time lies not in its arrows, but in the way we experience it. Each moment, fleeting yet eternal, holds the potential for discovery, growth, and transformation. So let's embrace the mystery, the humor, and the sheer improbability of it all. Because if there's one thing we've learned from science, it's that the universe has a sense of humor and it's always ready to surprise us. And who knows, maybe one day in some quantum fluctuation-induced twist of fate, we'll find ourselves living in a world where we can indeed unburn our toast, unsay the awkward comment, and maybe even unwatch the movie. Until then, let's enjoy the ride, appreciate the journey, and keep our minds open to the endless possibilities that the arrow of time has to offer. So cheers to time in all its gloriously confusing splendor. Thank you for listening to Who Threw the Curve. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.